Hey, what's up? Are you curious on how I got started in real estate? Well, I'm about to share that with you right now. Let's go. Hey, what's up? My name is Chris Martin, real estate agent, investor, coach, and if you have not already, please subscribe to this channel. I put all my knowledge in this channel, in these videos, and I want to share them with you. So watch some of the videos, like them, comment, and make sure to subscribe to the channel. All right, so we're going to take this back to me being 24 years young and getting into my first property. And I was in radio at the time, and I was a radio personality. I did that for about 8 years, and I was pursuing that career down south, and that's where I was living at the time. And at the time, I always wanted to buy property. I was always fascinated with just home ownership, and I never came from, my mom always rented property, and when I moved out, I rented property, and I always wanted to be a homeowner and eventually be an investor and own multifamilies. But I never really made that jump to do it. I was just renting and continued down that cycle of renting, and my apartment burnt down. And this was something that basically pushed me to purchase a home. So once my apartment burned down, and this was caused, I was down there during Katrina, and there was some roof damage, and it ended up being a fire, and long story short, it forced me into a situation where I didn't have anything to lose at that time. I lost everything. So I was like, you know what? This is a perfect time for me to purchase a home. So I look at that scenario where a lot of people would have looked at that fire, losing everything at 24, like all my sneakers, right? All my Jordans, all my jerseys, all the stuff that you cherish, all my records that I had, my vinyl, my collection, everything that you cherish as a 24-year-old, losing that is a lot, right? So there was a lot of emotion tied with that. At the same time, I did feel a sense of relief, and some people would have looked at that as some devastation. I looked at it as an opportunity. It's an opportunity for me to start with a clean slate and go into something without anything to lose. So that really pushed me into home ownership, and within a few months, I purchased a property, and I used an FHA loan, so I had little money down to come out of pocket to purchase this home. And this is how much of a blessing that fire was. That fire happened, I purchased a home, 3-bedroom, 1-bath house with a pool and a slide. It had a slide. That was what caught me. I was like, I'm getting this pool. I'm gonna have some fun with this pool. So I purchased that property, ended up paying less than what I was paying for rent. I didn't even know how that was possible. How could you purchase a property, own it, and pay less than you were paying for rent? It was just, that's how much of a blessing it was. It was unbelievable, and I wish I would have done it sooner. So I'm living in this property, and it was in average condition. It had some wear and tear in it. The owners have lived in this property. You could tell they haven't done anything for a while, but the systems were okay. Everything was running, right? It worked. Everything worked in the property. While I lived in it, I did do some renovations, so not anything extraordinary. These are simple, cosmetic stuff, some floors, some paint. So I painted everything myself. I did the floors, changed out the appliances, did some tile. I did some stuff to really enhance the look of the property, and it worked. I mean, it looked like a whole new property on the inside. I lived in that property for a little bit, and I ended up putting it back on the market. And when I put it back on the market, I put it back on the market at a price that I was almost shooting for. I didn't think it would sell for that price. And guess what? It did. I ended up making about $20,000 from the sale of that property. That may not sound like a lot, but as a 24, 25-year-old, I think at the time of selling that property, I was balling. $25,000 in my pocket was the largest amount of money that I ever seen at any time. I mean, I remember going out that night when I closed on the property, and everybody was getting drinks. Even the ugly girls were getting drinks that night. That's how much fun I was having, and I might as well have called my mom and be like, you ain't gotta work anymore, we won the lottery. It was that type of amount of money for me at that time. That really opened up my eyes. It really opened up my eyes to real estate and investing and the power of investing. I just thought to myself, if I made that amount of money without really having the knowledge of an investor that's been doing this for a while, how much could I make if I actually put some thought into this and really educated myself about it? So I decided to get my real estate license. I decided to get my real estate license while I was still in my previous career. I think at that time it was 60 hours of class time. I did it when I could. I got my license so I can kind of repeat that same process, and now I could benefit from the commission that's associated with the sale of that transaction. So I did it again. I purchased another property down there, and I did the same thing, and I lived in the property, and I renovated the property while I was in it, same type of cosmetic repairs, and went through that same process. I decided to move back up home to Boston, and I decided to move back up home to Boston in 2009 and pursue real estate full time. So my day job went from being on the radio to basically working with buyers and sellers full time, and primarily working with sellers and being a listing agent, because I knew from my experience and my education and my research even early on that in order to be successful on the real estate side, you have to get those listings. You have to be in control of that inventory. So I focused my efforts on working with sellers. And as they say, the rest is history, right? So that's how I got started in the real estate. That's how I caught the real estate bug. And I'm interested in hearing what you guys have to say as far as how you guys got into real estate. What kind of made you guys catch that bug? Drop it in the comment section below. I'd love to hear from you. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Subscribe, watch some other videos on the channel. Peace.